Okay, come on, YouTube. Jesus, YouTube was being weird. That was strange. YouTube was taking forever to actually acknowledge that I was streaming from OBS and actually, you know, let me push the start button. It's really holding me up there. Anyway, so I did cheat a little last night. I know the entire development process is supposed to be documented, and I went ahead and wrote a couple lines. I mean, if you don't count these changes in spacing and this comment, I mean, it's really 4 lines different. It's because I wrapped this in a function, this code, and then I added the function call here and here. So yeah, I did write 4 lines of code outside of the stream. I hope you'll find it in your heart to forgive me. You know, but I realized that one thing that isn't happening is when you first start up, it's not checking that you have a valid token. So if you still have a token in local storage and you navigate to the page, it takes 20 minutes before it detects it and bounces you back to the login page. So now there's an initial check, and then there's a check every 20 minutes. So, and I just let things run on their own last night for a couple hours, and check that I could still do things, that my token was getting updated, and that I could still do things with the updated token after an hour or so, and I could. And I also closed the browser tab for about half an hour, and then came back and found that, in fact, my token was no longer any good, which is what should happen. So if you come back within half an hour, you can still do things. Although, because the check is every 20 minutes, if you leave 10 minutes after the last validate and then come back. Oh no, but now because there's this initial test, it'll automatically run the valid. Okay, yeah, so we're good. We're good. So as soon as you come back, it's going to freshen up your token straight away. So there were actually 2 bugs that were fixed simultaneously by this. So I like that. I'm quite pleased by that. Of course, now we just get the login screen when we go. Uh, and the night before last will be the last night that I'll ever have to worry about randomly not being able to make API calls while I'm in the middle of working, because now every 20 minutes a validate call gets made. So I'm going to go ahead and commit that change now that I've explained it on stream. You'll see it's literally 4 lines of actual code difference, comments, function call, some changes in spacing. Yeah, this part was already indented excessively, so yeah, so or this was already indented properly, and this was excessively indented doubly. So this was all excessively indented, but this was doubly excessively indented because the indentation is the same after wrapping in a function here and shorter here. Yeah, so my indentation was all over the place in the file for some reason, but it's all corrected now. The only real difference is now this logic is wrapped in a function call, and that function is called once and then again every 20 minutes. So, really a 4-line difference effectively, no matter what Git says. Uh, So that fixes two bugs. One is that it wouldn't check right away and would let you sit on a page you really shouldn't be on for 20 minutes before kicking you off. And two, you don't have that risk of closing the tab after more than 10 minutes since the last time you validated, and then not getting a refresh token in time because you say 15 minutes after you're validated, you leave and then you come back. Now it's 20 minutes to the next. It'll be 35 minutes then since your last token, and now your token's expired, so you can't get a new one from that one because the validate will come back unauthorized. So two bugs fixed. Right, being thrown out and being redeemed in time are both addressed here. So I like fixing two bugs of 4 lines of code. So anyway, I gotta go get a coin real quick to flip. Let's see if I got one right here. If I gotta go and get one from the other room. Oh wait, hold on. So you're just gonna have to take my word for it. So heads items, tails containers. I gotta catch it in my hand after flipping and flip it onto my other hand. Otherwise, it's an invalid flip, and I do it again. Heads. Okay, items it is. Okay, you can take my word for it. I wouldn't lie to you. I mean, I came clean about my cheating last night. I know, I'm a bad person. I really am ashamed of myself. Uh, anyway. So, items. Should at least get the service finished out tonight then. And then figure out UI. Now, where do we want to put the button to add items? Let's go back to here. So this, yeah, this, and of course the categories view. Yeah. Oh, one thing that's missing from dashboard is when categories are selected, there's supposed to be these little chips up here that you can X out to deselect them. Yeah, I have to remember to add that in at some point. But for now, okay, we have our container display page. And I feel like the display and create meta page can be the same as with category, you know, right? And when you're first creating a new container, you just won't get the bottom section. Again, same with category. We'll just follow that model. And then when you create it, it redirects, and then you get, your display that would have your items. If you add any, of course, it'll start out empty. Again, same as category with subcategories. And you add. Eventually, you need to add a sort by. But yeah, we should work on items. So bring up modal to add some of this item to a container. Yeah. Containers where. Okay. Yeah. So your items. So there has to be a button that links to item new somewhere here. Maybe another button to the right, to the left of this. That's just like an add new button. Add new item button, and that would redirect. Because up in containers, of course, there could be a plus button here. Right? A little plus button up in this, next to this header for adding a container. So, and yeah, the item page can be edited in place, and the container page can be edited in place, rather than have a separate create item page, a separate or edit item page, or even a separate create and slash edit item page separate from your display item page. You know, you would just everything would be labels, and then you hit the edit button, and it would transform into form fields, and a save button would appear. Right. And of course, there'd be like categories in some way or another for the item, and you could add categories for an item. So that that I need to see. How did I implement? I mean, that'll. There might be. Here's what I'm thinking is going to happen. There's probably going to be at least the next 5 days, if not a full week, for items. And then the same to implement container creation and editing. And then from there, we'll see about adding items to containers and adding categories to items. And checking items out. And maybe by mid-April, at the latest, I want to be done by the end of April. Or like May 5th. May 5th is the real hard final deadline that I want to be done by with this project. But I'm thinking we should be done by April 13th or 14th, right? Thereabouts. Possibly the end of this month, depending on how quickly the next few phases go. So this is my optimistic estimate. This is my likely estimate, and this is my worst case estimate for when we should be done by, based on what's left. And so 31st, 14th, and 5th. So we'll see which one of these is the closest. I'm really hoping that this is actually done by the 31st, if it can be helped. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So, item controller. Add subcategory, remove subcategory. Okay, so this is not a set subcategories thing. Yeah, so I think what we'd want to do is have like a list of your category chips, but they wouldn't have the little X buttons, and then there'd be a modal activated with a button that would bring up the same category and subcategory uh, drop down tree. The same accordion rather is the proper term in a modal, and all the subcategories to which an item belongs would be checked already when they're fetched. And when you check, it'll call the add subcategory API, and when you uncheck, it'll call the remove subcategory API immediately. So there won't be a save button. It'll just be update on the spot as you check and uncheck things, right? And then, of course, when you close the modal, it should refresh your item page and display your subcategory chips. With the category name prepended. Ordered first by category name, then by subcategory name. And there shouldn't be more than like 5 or 6 subcategories for a given item on average. Like, I mean, look at the wines. Even if you have something that you know is a blend, like you have a Bordeaux, you're checking 3 varietals and well, actually 5 varietals and Bordeaux. Uh, you might select the color red under the colors category, even though that would be silly because that colors category is more appropriate for colors of like decorations and shit. It would be, you could if you wanted. I mean, it's up to you. So like that's 7 subcategories. You know, you get a Santa Claus feeding a reindeer in a little barn animatronic. So you'll select your animatronics subcategory, or your I think I'm probably gonna have an animatronics category and Santa subcategory. So you'd select Santa, you'd select abstract Santa, animatronic Santa, green for the base, and maybe reindeer. You know, that's 4 subcategories. Uh, you know, things like that. Shape. Hmm. Shape is kind of useless. Uh, I need to figure out how to make to how I would like to alternate between is in any category and is in all in the item request query too, because then something like shape would be useful. So you want to select round gold ornaments, but if you select round gold ornaments currently, you'll get anything that's round and anything that's a gold ornament, and that's kind of useless. So having a toggle to switch between modes for the category filter, so you can get any item that's in any or any item that's in all of the selected categories. So that's a thing. Uh, so we've got to do first is write our item service. Let's get that under control instead of just talking about what's next. In fact, let's just write up some so that they don't get lost. What we discussed. Warehome. Let's write up a couple issues. Issues. New issue. Labels. Enhancement. Uh, bu- bu- bu. Okay. New issue. Labels. Enhancement. What was the other one that I wanted to make sure I remembered that I already forgot? Because of course I already forgot it. Category selection. Items. Oh, come on, man. Items control. Let's just retrace our steps. Okay, so we're talking about that. Okay, I've got to go back and re-listen to the stream at around 18 minutes to 21 and see if I can find it, and I'll add the issue later. Totally slipped my mind what it was. Jeez. Okay. I just had it. Okay, the category chips. Right. And wow. This is embarrassing. Okay. Let me turn off desktop audio and just go back and listen to myself. Oh, yeah, yeah, the toggle. That's right. Shape reminded me of it. Yeah, so shape is kind of useless unless we have that toggle. So add toggle for all any some unless shape wouldn't be useful. Okay, so that's it. Yeah, those two things have to be noted. So, okay, item controller. So, let's go to sessions, not sessions controller. Routes, yeah, so create, update, destroy. So, hmm. Hey, wait a second. Permission helper, not permission. Okay. I really should consider using serializers for everything else other than just user. But mm, it's kind of a small project. That might be something I consider in a later refactor before I call the project. Right before I call the project done, just so that's something I can really be proud of. It's kind of a portfolio builder, this project. Where was I? Alright. Item service. Fetch all items. I need to fetch item by ID. So I'm just going to fetch all items, fetch item. Yeah, roles, fetch all roles, fetch role, create role. Update. Hmm. Fetch item. Items API URL. Uh, bu- bu- D, okay. It's the specified item. Okay, JSON, okay. Yeah, that's pretty much the item to fetch. Okay. Create item, 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 Venom, category service create, update. this point it's pretty samey, isn't it? Do I have an items model? Yes, I do. Item ID, description, notes. Okay, so item, so fetch item. Okay, so item, item, item model. Okay. Okay, now this is going to be form data. Image. So description, notes, and image. Now, if I recall correctly, that's all that's accepted in items controller. Description, notes, image. Yep. Description, notes, image. So that's what matters. So, if not, item, item with no data. Now, for the form data requests in React Practice App, that Deanan fellow whose tutorials I was following in the course of developing this insisted on putting the onus on the calling component. Right, so edit article form would have to handle update submit, would have to, where is it? To convert the form data and then pass form data, which means it could pass arbitrary form data to the update function. That's how he prefers to do it. That's how I did it for this while following along. But personally, I don't prefer this. I'd like, but also he was using JS, not TS anyway, so to him it's a matter of indifference. But for me, I prefer TS. I like the type safety because I want to make sure that I leave plenty of... I'm not keen on immortality. I'm kind of planning on dying eventually, you know, a few decades from now, you know, my 80s, 90s, whatever. You know how it is. And I might retire before then. I might quit. I like to make sure that I leave enough clues and enough instruction and enough information behind for those who come after, you know? That's why I use TypeScript. Not for me, not because I need it, but because I want my intent to be clear. I want it, you know, I don't want someone to have to guess what something was expected to be. It's all laid out. Leave lots of detailed instructions behind for those who come next. Because I acknowledge my mortality. Not all developers do, and they write like they're going to live forever. Or they write like they just don't give a damn about the next guy. I don't do that. So I don't want to pass form data to my service functions. I want to pass a type-safe object to the service function, and the service function converts what it needs of that type-safe object to the form data it needs for that API request. It's just how I prefer to do things. It's really a matter of taste. So, that's what I intend to do. So, object to form data. Okay. Okay. And you'll notice here that you're prepending article in the form data. So, prepending item. And now what I could do is item item and leave that at that. But I don't want, even though for create URL won't be set, even though for create ID won't be set. And it will just pass description, notes, and image. And I have to scrub those out for update. I still want to be explicit. So, I will. Okay, so, description. Notes. Item.notes. Image. Item.image. And I will do the same. Yeah. Okay. Of course, because you're not just delete. There's two approaches. You could blacklist or whitelist. You could take the item or make a copy of the item object, and then just remove ID and image URL, and just pass the entire item object. That way, as you add additional fields to item, if I were to add additional columns to the item model, and therefore additional properties that would have to be in the permit list in item params. You know, if it's blacklist, then although I think now we call it deny list, we don't call things blacklist and whitelist anymore. We call them deny list and allow list, whatever. Same difference. So if you take the deny list approach, hold on, my microphone. There we go. Now my mouth is closer to the mic. Okay. If you take the deny list approach, then as you add new fields, they just automatically are getting added unless you add them to be omitted. If you take the whitelist approach, the allow list approach is what I'm doing, then anytime a new column is added that you do want to pass, you'd have to go back in here and also edit here. Otherwise, it's not getting passed in the request. So you have to be careful of this because someone might go to someone who doesn't know and hasn't checked, and they'll add a member to this class. They'll add a migration. They'll add it in the permit section of the params. They'll fail to add it here. It will not get sent in the request, and they'll be confused until they, so someone has to know to go here and add it. But so there are some drawbacks to this approach as opposed to just item, but I like to keep things clean. So items API URL post authorization. Okay. Okay. Update article. Okay. When it's form data, you don't actually have to. So that's convenient. Okay, so yeah, you don't need a content type header for that. So we're just gonna remove that. Okay, so we have token, that, and then we have our body form data. Body is just form data. Okay, body. Form data, just like that. Okay. And then we go here, response helpers. Okay, just like that. So if there are JSON errors, then we know to display them on screen. If there are not JSON errors, then we throw an exception. And if everything's okay, actually, then we can parse the response outside and just say, hey, it's all good. It's created. Item. So yeah, so far so good. So same with update item. So let's just Control F. And just do that real quick. That should clear some errors straight away. Update item. Go to edit. Item with no ID. Okay, so we need the item ID and the item data. Okay, so we need uh, items API URL, put K, body, and this is going to be the same deal. Okay, we're going to convert the form data here. Form data, that, boom. Okay, delete with no ID. I mean, delete is delete. Delete is the only thing that's fairly consistent. I mean, this one is the form data update and create, and requires specifying the fields. So there's our base item service. Pretty good, I'd say. Pretty good. Okay. So yeah, that's item service. I would commit that right now before I make any other changes. Just in case we don't get finished with item creation and edit tonight, because there's only an hour left. Spent a lot of time talking. And I'm not sure how far I'll get because this is going to get a little complicated now. So I want to make sure that this is committed here so we can, because this part's finished. At least finished as far as I can tell. Hopefully there won't be anything that needs to be fixed in this, but it looks good. It's pretty straightforward. So, Geez, I had like a little Vietnam War flashback. I was starting to type on the keyboard on my computer and was like, oh, wait, that keyboard doesn't work. I have to type on the keyboard on my lap. But there is no keyboard in my lap because the keyboard on my computer does work because it's a new computer. Uh, yeah. It ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no fortunate son. No. Some folks are made on waving the flag. Oh, red, red, white, and blue, Lord. And the sunshine sails to achieve. Oh, they point the cannon at you. It ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no fortunate one. No. Okay, so dashboard, admins, features. Hmm. Should I just put all the item and category pages under dashboard because they kind of are part of the main dashboard that is encompassed by the left and top panels, right? Should I be doing that? I don't know. What should I do? What should I do? That's that's a question. Huh? Hmm. Do I make items? I mean, it's kind of part of one feature, right? There's the login feature, there's the admin feature, and then kind of items and main dashboard. And containers are all just the dashboard. Like the main program is dashboard. I can always change the name of this to main, but I think dashboard is still sufficiently descriptive. Quibbling over the names of things instead of just. I need to stop doing that. Okay, so. Item page.tsx. So now this is where editing and creation and viewing happens. All the magic happens here in item page. Okay, so let's get our copyright notice. Okay. Okay. So far, so good. Now let's go to app routes. And this is the start. Yeah, that's just slash item slash ID. So. These are really coming together. Or we know really only one more route. Containers and everything else should be within those routes. So we're really coming into the home stretch here. It's coming together. I love it when a plan comes together. So, categories edit. One thing we need here is our const ID equals use params. Okay. That's the big one. Categories edit. And unlike categories edit, this has three modes: view, create, and edit. So, let's look back at our picture. Okay, so I also want to look into how you can preview I also kind of want to make sure that we separate the item that's being created from the item that's been loaded. That's another thing. Although I think what I would do is, yeah, hmm, yeah, I think that's what I would do. Okay, so when you load an item, it'll load a copy of, that way you can undo your changes, redo your changes, the copies over. It's not re-requesting anything, right? Every time you click the edit button, it'll copy over the data from the fetched item from the server to the edit item, and that'll be what's in the form. And when you cancel, it just blanks that item back out. Yeah. And what's convenient is build item data should be able to, in theory, take an item. Where is it? Models, item. Yeah, ID, dataset.id. Yeah, it's the same capitalization, so can make a deep copy by just calling item.build on another item. So, oi, oi. So, const. Uh, use state. I guess that's one way to go. And for role, okay, fine. New item model. Besides that, we don't have null reference errors or whatever. I think I have to sweep for is missing keys. Okay. Oh. Yeah, let me just do that real quick. Yeah, notice it's been an hour and I'm still not logged out. So that's pretty cool. Okay, yeah, we're missing... Oh, breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs is missing key. Okay, so let me... I want to fix missing keys real quick. That's... God, breadcrumbs. Dot map path row return. Yeah, it's unique. What are you talking about? What's not unique about admin roles? Admin and admin roles. And I think you're just making things up. Subcategories.slice. Map, categories edit, subcategories.slice.map, map, map, map. Okay. Okay. Where is the admin? Role edit. Okay, so those keys are good. Um, so so if else return. Oh, is it because of that? Uh, so yeah, so it needs to be on the outermost element, which is kind of annoying, but whatever. Actually, I wonder. No, can't do that. So I'm all keyed up. Okay, so admin categories and breadcrumbs. Okay. Wrong button, but whatever. So we're actually gonna push, so that leaves an hour still to work on this. Now that that itch is scratched. Okay, so we need set item, and we need edit item, set edit item. Okay. It's implied, so it's whatever. So we want for markup. So what's the top element of dashboard? A container, of course. Dashboard outer styles, dashboard module, dashboard margin top, max width. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna want a similar for dashboard module. Item page dot module. Yeah. really need these classes for this. Okay. Page outer. Fine. Happy. Okay, so margin top, max width unset, margin left unset, margin right unset, width 100%, padding bottom 2RM, correct height. If I made it padding instead of margin, then I could simplify this math. I don't know why I didn't think to do that before. Oh, for Christ's sake, get out of the way. Yeah. So, okay. Remember how we used to dance? Incidents arose from circumstance. We were singing the songs and songs. Heat of the moment. Telling me about your heart, man. Heat of the moment. Hitting all the wrong notes there. That's the heat of the moment. Sure. Async equals new return. Item. Okay. Okay, const JSON equals fetch item. Set item. Error body show. Failed to fetch the item. Okay, and So we'll just go ahead and copy our error alert as well. You should probably get those as well. Yeah, item page, so. Okay. Okay. Yeah. We don't need pagination for items, I don't think. Uh, an item isn't going to be in more than like 3 different containers, I'd say, tops. The average, on average, based on how I intend to use this, an item will be in 1.01 containers on average. For being real here, an item will be in 1% of items will be in 2 containers. Know what I mean? So, there will be a 101 containments per 100 items. Therefore, an item will be in on average 1.01 containers. Like like most of the things I'm tracking with this, there would be one of where there would be a bunch of it, but they'd be organized in the same bin. I would just put the whole count of one grouping of, I should say, not one of, because like ornaments, you're not going to have one of any one ornament. You'll have like 40, a tube of 40 red ornaments, for example, and they'll be all in the tube standing next to that one Santa Claus who looks kind of like a hobo. Eventually, there will be pictures up on the system. You'll know what I'm talking about. Just take my word for it. Uh, so yeah, we need that. Let's see. Edit categories. Uh, yeah. Then we'll just pop that in item page. Yeah. So that's all the boilerplate, I think. All right. Uh, so let's go to containers. Hmm. Do you remember how we used to dance? Incidents arose from circumstance. We would sing together songs unsung. It was the heat of the moment. Tell me what your heart meant. It was a he. So, item description, item. So let's just copy that for now. Yeah, into here and just. Come on. MD4. Just do that for now. And then go here and get no image. Interesting. Routes. Oh, item one. Okay. So we got item display going. Error not found. Oh snap. Oh snap, you got an error. Found. Interesting. So yeah, we get a proper error. So far so good. We've got an item page. It could be a little neater looking, but it's a start. Description notes. Yeah. So yeah, now that's outdated because position is in containment. Right? An item's position in a given container is relative to that container. So position is no longer a field on item. Right? Let's just look at the old ERD to confirm that change. Yeah. So item used to have. Oh. Maybe initially? Uh, but yeah, position shouldn't have been there. An item's position should be down here for any given container. So it'll display a container image, so you know what the container looks like. Container description. And, of course, container, container position for a given item in that container. Right? And, jeez. That corned beef and cabbage wants back out. Alright, so. Yeah, it's pretty insistent. I. All right, I'm back. Oh, having a rough one. Jeez. Yeah, yeah, lot of cabbage, a lot of cabbage. You'll know how it is this time of year. Oof. Anyway, not really appropriate, to be honest. Should make it clickable. Yeah. Okay, so first of all, let's go back to dashboard and make that clickable. Hmm. Uh, bu- 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 Do I make the whole thing clickable or just the picture clickable? Let's go to articles, list, source, article image, link to article ID, link to styles, article title. Okay, so I kind of want to left justify the text though. So yeah, I want to put the link around container. Container. Should I put the link around the whole container? I guess for now, until I decide if there are other controls I want on the item card. If there are other controls, then I'll change where the link is in the hierarchy so that other things can be clickable. Although I wonder if I put other buttons, will those override the link so that the button gets clicked? So we'd have to test at that point. So I'll cross that bridge when we get to it. For now, link to equals uh, item slash iterm iterm.id. So Ew. It kills the item card. Yeah, that destroys my style though. What if I put the link around the row then? So dashboard.module, yeah, so item card inner. What if that? Yeah, that's a start. So that turns the outline blue. Huh. That's interesting. Now the outline is black. Okay. Atom card inner. And then we'll go back to dashboard modules. Okay, and a color black. Text decoration on set. Okay, and oh wow, I have exactly 68 items, don't I? Okay. Yeah, this needs to update when the page. Yeah, I have a lot of things to fix in the dashboard too. See, there's still quite a bit still to finish. All the more reason to stop dragging my feet and start getting things done. Okay. Details. So it's not really going to be in a box. It's just going to be a horizontal rule. So item details. Okay, item page outer. Okay, row. even still. There we go. Hmm. No, you bastard. That's much better. It doesn't have to be black. It can be. Uh. Okay. Let's make it 6. Um. Muted. Border bottom color. Wow. Wow, that's pretty visible. Even as triple C. Okay, so let's make it triple D. What if it's E? Jeez, even as E. Let's make it D though, because even E is pretty visible. But D is good. Okay, D is good, and I need margin unset. Important. Okay, margin unset important. Okay, so item details. Okay. There we go. I don't really need the left nav bar on this page, do I? I mean, yeah, it'll be there, but I really need it. I mean, I guess. Yeah, because I might want to change my item selections so when I go back to. This is working pretty good. I'd say so. Now I kind of want to left justify the text here on the item page. I'd say yeah, that's pretty good for today. We've got a base item page We can navigate to it and we display it. We can, yeah, can go click on an item and view its page. That's a good start for today. We got the items service built and the start of the items page. Okay, all container stuff will go down here, of course, because we have the solid, the HV height set. You know, anything. If we have a lot of containers, it'll just become scrollable, but that likely won't happen. It'll probably always all be visible at once on the page because there's a lot of space down below for container business. But well, we'll have to implement adding items to containers after we implement the container page. But and can create containers. So yeah, we've got view item. I just want to do a little more cleanup for tonight. Get it ready for tomorrow to start fresh with the new item button, the new item form, and then add the edit and delete buttons. So this is a fresh, good, decent start, I'd say. And yeah, so hit the ground running with items this week, I'd say. Pretty pleased. So, description. At some point, we're going to want to fit controls in there. But the controls should go above description. The controls will be to the right, but the description and notes, of course, there'll be titles. So, that's the image section, and that's the description and notes section. The image should be clickable to give you the full-sized image too, I'd say. So if you go to article details and you go to image, okay, we go there, okay. Okay, link to, okay, and DOM. Yeah, so now our image should be clickable to see the full-size image. If you save, that is. Huh. Huh. That's weird. That is weird. What the hell is wrong with this thing? That should be linking to the image URL, not to the... What the hell? Why is this broken? What happens if I do that? Okay. The image URL is not the item. What in the world? Why is the href? That doesn't make any sense. It should be opening that. It's the same exact code that worked correctly in blog. Link to that and an article list. Link to articles, article ID. Uh, how are these links in any way connected in two different components that the to value is getting overridden? It doesn't make any sense. Link to item slash ID. And dashboard page is one thing, yeah. Okay. Doesn't make any sense. Okay. But it that doesn't make any sense. Network. Image URL null. Okay. Uh, item page. What? It doesn't make any sense. What? It's no image. Styles dot article image. If I make it, will that cause React to treat it as a different object? I X with. All right. Doesn't make any damn sense. I'm telling you. Well, alt equals article dot title. Article list. Link to article ID, class name, the title, image, the title. Okay. Mm. Doesn't make any sense. Especially since it worked in the blog app, and there's no reason why it should. Well, anyway, it's just at the, I guess, item details. No, item 8. Sorry, item image. Uh, Dashboard page. Max height, max width. Let's put that back. But mm, kind of new, but in one page, the link that I put in the page does not change the. Okay. Link from React Router DOM. Doesn't make any damn sense. Line goes fit. Doesn't make any goddamn sense. It's giving me an empty string. Oh, is image URL an empty string? Is that the issue? So it's just giving me the current URL. Uh, let me guess. Oh yeah, duh. Down there. Oh, you bastard. So it's just linking back to the same page. There we go. Oh my god. So it's not null in this app, that's why. It's an empty string. Because that's right. That's right. That's right. In my item model, unlike in that, I'm setting it to that, whereas in article, I'm not actually passing it through the builder to normalize the data. So it could be null for that. I should have written the first application correctly so that I wouldn't remember things working a certain way and then try to implement based on those assumptions when the only reason it worked that way was because I had cut corners in the blog app and now I'm doing everything, by the book here. I'm like, I don't remember it working that way. Yeah, it worked that way because I skipped the build process here. Skip the build function to normalize the data. Now I have normalized data, so it's going to always work a certain way, whereas when I had unnormalized data, you might have nulls show up. And this would handle nulls anyway. So this is a better, more encompassing. Okay, well, I think it's asinine that if you pass nothing to 2, it just links back to the same URL, because that's needlessly confusing. There should be some kind of error. Yeah, asinine. Well, anyway, wasted too much time on that and didn't get to cleaning this up. Okay, so items detail, item description. Okay, so mm, class name equals styles dot item. No, that's item details. And this is uh, use item attributes. Item. Okay. And we go to item page. Text align left. Okay. Page description. Okay. There we go. There's our item display page, ready to go. I can't drive 55. Alright. That's pretty good. You know, can view a high res image at any time. Ain't nothing wrong with that. My AI generated gentleman sausage. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with where I got today then. Yeah, I'll take it. Alright, so let's just commit this and same time tomorrow. Okay, item page. Dashboard page. We now have a link to the item page. We have app route to item page. We have item page CSS, a little more of that. And yeah. Not bad for a day's work, you know? What was that? But there's that. Did all that. You know, did a little cleanup. And we got base item page in. On a day's work. Call it there, same time tomorrow.